before your presentation, let me explain about this video again. Will you please check this video. This is in case of like solution maps of Japan, for example. Because as you know, Japan is importing food from all over the world. So if the price of food becomes expensive, we are in trouble. So to solve this problem, what should we do? Is this presentation. Okay. For example, the shortage of food supply in the world. Nowadays, because of the population of expansion, and also the like a war, civil war. The shortage of food. If shortage of food will happen, the price of the world will increase. So, for example, rise of price of food will happen. It's kind of a global risk for Japan. So, to prevent us, for example, we have to export industry. This is for Japan, export industry, because we are exporting products and earning money, and then buy food from the world. So the exporting industry, and also the improvement of self-sufficiency. The self-sufficiency level of Japan is now dropping around 40%. So the improvement of self-sufficiency, and also the keeping self-sufficiency in the other countries outside of Japan. Like a Japanese social, they're investing in South America, all over the world. They are making a farm and producing agricultural products. So they're keeping self-sufficiency in the world. So how cope with this? How can we cope with this? How can we fight with this? One is export. As for the exporting industries, we have to keep in competitiveness. Like Japan product is very good or something like that. And also the improvement related to improvement self-sufficiency, we have to recovery of agriculture. And also keeping self-sufficient in the other countries, keep green field while other technology, keeping green field in other countries, agriculture lands. And then, so our strategy for creating advanced industry. Is we should mainly focusing on that. So that's the reason why you're here. Japanese government think it's important to collaborate with people who live in Asian countries. So they invite you, Japanese government invite you, and maybe you come to Japan and learn many things and return to your countries and work for, not only for your country, but for Japan too. みたいな感じだと思うんですけど、実はストラテジー。So that's what I want to do. At the final presentation will start around 4:15 or something. But before that, but I let you work on the topics step by step. So the first topic is maybe, as this is the beginning, so which country, what countries, and what topics, and why you choose them. So please decide, have a discussion. Maybe 5 minutes more. Maybe we can start just very quick, short presentation. And 3:35. So please, listen. No. But still, I'll give you the time still. So please.原子力も結構同じだと思うけど、結構重要なんですよ、原子力も。日本原電かどうか、そう原子力なんとかって言われるんでしょ。はい。だから原子力もやっぱり結構ね、どうするかやっぱり実際今民主党の議論はしてないので、本当にベトナムに原発持ってっていうのがいいですか。 小型の原子爆弾たくさん作っちゃっていいんですよ。なんかその辺の議論みんな大ごとになってるんで、そういうのはこれから誰かちゃんとみんな要するに議論する人だけじゃなくて、なんかそういうことを考える人もいないと、みんなが考える。そう考えると、昔と考えるとまでだ。あ、そうです。うちの父が原子力関係の仕事をしたので、日本原電。昔。今は使ったんですよね。日本原電なくなっちゃったんですよ。原まであると、どっかが一緒になって、みんなインフラ作業、ね、インフラ事業やっちゃってるから、ちょっと足がちょっと不安なところあるんだけどさ、日立さんってね、アーティストを売却しちゃったでしょ。インフラ整備で、先生なんですよね、本当に。ポスター、写真撮る。あ、全然撮る、全然結構です。別に著作権が合ってないようなんで。ジャイカのパーティスパントが書いたってことですけど、誰が書いたかって思ってたんだけど、両者参加したら全然思ってない。それは大丈夫ですか？終わったら捨てますかって、いや、それちょっと今度からどこかに使うかもしれないから、持って帰りますから、持って帰ったら参加してそうしました。プレゼンもね、してもらって、質問してみましょうか、せっかくだから、他のグループに何か質問ありますかみたいな感じで、質問してもらって。必ず一グループ一応質問考える。じゃあ、こうしますか。とりあえず、まずプレゼンします。順番も1、2、3、まあ、今回一番こっちで、1人目のグループが発言したので、じゃあ、他のグループちょっと質問1、ちょっと考えて、考えてもらって、質問に対して質疑応答してもらって、で、次、で、まあ、4時15分から4時間ワークショップをやってるんですよ。まあ、そういうのもあって、でもね、日本人の学生とね、留学一緒にすると結構みんな話しますよ。僕も写真もしてますけど、結構みんなブーツもみんななんかこう、あ、そういうことですね。さっきの答えはまさしくエグザクトリーザライトって感じですよね。みんな気づいてることあるんですよね。日本がフィリピン人看護師とかその入れてますけど、日本がフィリピン人の例えば知ったらなんとかでも入れちゃうと、彼女すごい話力が高いので、日本はフィリピン置き換えます。冗談で聞いてもらいましたね。 Okay. Anyway, time out なんで、please give a talk here or two. 代表ですから、representative ですかね。representative comes here and give a talk to them. And then the listening team, please think of the questionnaire. で、after his talk, I'll give you the one minute. 2 minutes, and then discuss about the question. One question, at least one question. Questionnaire to the presenters. So the procedure is something like this. Okay, and this group give a talk, and then he returned to his seat, and then among other groups, please think of the questionnaire, and then give a question to them, the answer, and then next presenter, and the next. That's something. So please. And please forgive me to the video record. You don't actually record it, maybe you can.
But if you really like to be consistent in process,
We can roll your face.
So we did junket and I lose. So I present. So we decide to work on deforestation because we think that deforestation is similar in the situation is quite similar in Philippines and Indonesia. So is it okay, Sensei, that if we do a comparison?
Yes, Indonesia and the Philippines.
Yeah,
yes, that's good. Yeah.
Then why we choose this? First, like I said, it's happening in Philippines and Indonesia. Then deforestation has high impact not only to the local area, but also we know that it is part of the ecosystem. So it has global impact also. So we think this is very important. And also this is also one of the, I think, fields of Inasan. So she knows more about this part. Yeah.
Okay.
That's our reason.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I give you 2 minutes. So please, any questions? Okay. I mean, question to them. His presentation. Each group. So please start. Take a rest. Yeah, please. 2 minutes. Any simple questions? Okay. Anything is okay. Yeah. Me? No. Just one. 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, please give a question. And maybe 2 or 3 questions. Maybe not much, but maybe 2 or 3 questions is still okay. Please discuss.
No, that's it.
でもフィリピンでデフォルストレーションってそんなすぐやすい？技術すぐやすい？怖い。コマーシャルモノカルチャー、モノアナルカルチャー。
Also, maybe implementation of the law. There is law for proper use of forests, but most of the time it's not. That does not work. The people or the government they let people use forests for income for that.
Fixing projects and you can manage. They're fixing plan. Anyway, so any questions? Okay, please.
Me?
Yeah, your group. Not you, your group. Okay, your group.
So your topic is about the deforestation. I guess now I just like case in Indonesia. Indonesia's people increase, so we need to open the land maybe for agriculture and other activities. But on the other side, we should keep it as the secret place, as a keep it as a natural product. How can you manage? So on the other side we have need new land for the agriculture, another land which is maybe new city, but on the other side you should keep it as keep as the natural habitat, natural forest. What is your strategy to handle this opposite problem?
Indonesia.
Yeah, what's interesting?
I think, as we know, the deforestation happening in Indonesia is very fast, and as we know, the big forest there is in Sumatra Island, Kalimantan Island, and Papua Island, but it was a peatland forest, so it's really quite different for people to stay in the peatland because they cannot planting rice, they cannot do something like agriculture. Usually people just stay in the side of the river. So I think the big problem happen in deforestation, especially in Indonesia, is because commercial thing. It's not because the population. And if you come to my hometown, Kalimantan Tengah, still there is place for people to stay, not in the forest, and there is still place for people to live. So actually, deforestation and population is not really have linkage. Most deforestation happen in Indonesia because commercial and not most about because no control. I think that's our reason.
No control.
Yeah, no control. We have law, but it's very poor implementation. Sometimes we know it was wrong, it was damage our environmental, but because we just thinking about have money, so we can go to the Italy, maybe we can go to the France, we forget about our environmental. So most of deforestation happening in Indonesia is because no control from the industry side and also from the environment, from the government side, and also from the local people there.
Okay. Yes, I mean that's not only the population but also for the industry purpose. So we know that in case of your hometown, we know that we are wrong, but we still continue that. So what is the strategy as you especially you are like a native people there? What is your strategy to you can say that stop it, or maybe what is your effort, or maybe you are native, how to control and to recover that? Because maybe we can open the industry. This is just opposite side, environmental side, and then on the economic side. Not only for the new city or something, but I mean also industrial purpose. What is the strategy to recover that on to cut the chains, not to continue that?
I think education for the local people, because the important thing is how to make the local people understand how very important their environmental. So even the industry come, but local people say no, I think it will be quite difficult for the industry too. But on the other side, government also must strike for the law to protect our forest. In the other side, we should try to do something like green management, how to make its balance. Because we cannot deny we need much energy, but we should also realize we need our environmental server. So I think we should manage it with some like green management.
まあ、later on maybe you can ask among the presentation. Okay, maybe let me talk about two comments. One is, I mean, keeping forestry is not a very much something to do with the fresh water supply. If the green field is kept, so the fresh water can be produced. That's one topic. And also the maintaining the forest is linked to the coastal resources, fisheries. If the forest is good conditions, so the nutrients is coming to the fish and seaside, and then fish can survive. But if the deforestation happens, when the mud water is thrown into the sea, and the ecosystem in the fishes is damaged. That's the point. So maybe this point should be included in our strategy. Okay, so next, another question, please.
Thank you. I didn't ask detail, but I just want to know what is your concern in this deforestation? You as concerned in economical or environment? Because if you concern, suppose if you you are industrial, you are industrial man, not environmental man. Maybe you will suggest more in how to make. How to take the money as much as possible. But if you want to, if you suppose you as an environmental man, you maybe you do not to cut the tree. You must you must save the tree. But you didn't think about how can we eat without cutting trees. I just know what is your concern. Environmental.
I think Fina said earlier that the key here is balance, because we cannot survive without using the forest. So I think the key here is balance and control, because if we think of just money, then we can destroy all our forests, but we will have a problem. The other side, if we don't use the forest, and then we have a problem with the other side also. So I think we need balance and control over the industry and environment. Yeah.
Just like Sensei said before, actually forests have two purposes. As ecosystem server, it's just like just the water, but in other side we also need wood to build our home. So like Julie said, we want to stay in the middle part, who can see in the each part, from the economic and also from the environmental side.
Also, one more thing, habitats in the forest area, like a deer. In Japan, we have a very serious problem, especially in Hokkaido. More deer in Hokkaido. Deer. Because of wolf, we extinguished the wolves. So the wolves eat the deer, but the wolves died. So the deer is increasing, dramatically increasing. So they eat everything, especially young trees. So the trees get old, and finally they disappear. So the deer problem is very serious in Japan. And the hunter is getting older. The number of hunters is increasing.
Hunter for deer.
Deer. Okay, thank you. Channel, please, next presentator. Yours. Yeah.
We are decided to submit presentation on mining, environmental problem related to mining. We are especially discuss on advantage of mining and what is the purpose of mining, then disadvantages mainly to environmental related problems, and the section of different areas of environmental what mining affecting. But that is our topic.
I'm sorry, I think we have to listen to your presentation. Mining problem.
Mining problem. Environmental issue related to the mining.
In which country?
It's a general.
Generally speaking, mining problems.
Yes.
Mining of what? Like a coal or what kind of products?
It's general mining.
General mining. So we actually we focus on the environmental degradation after mining process. Sometimes they just levy and not to recover the land or the soil, tailing issue or something.
Okay. Mining, generally speaking, the mining point. Okay. Yeah, maybe your specialty background. Okay, so please think of the questionnaire to this presentation or 2 minutes, please. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. Okay, so please, じゃあ、クエスチョンをお使いください。Please.
I just would like to know because you deal on mining. So if you talk mining in general, but there are different types of mining. So open pit mining, the closed pit mining. So how would you? I'm just curious. How would you deal it in your discussion? Like how is environmental degradation in relation to open pit mining, and how is environmental degradation in relation to closed pit mining?
Anyway, if the mining is open or closed, anyway it will affect on the environment. Means if in open pit mining we can directly see the effect, but in the closed mining we can directly see the effect. Means especially in the when we are mining the oil or other fuels, it will affect the soil. That type of problems are causing during mining.
Maybe you can discuss it later.
Okay. And please. Yeah, any questions? Okay.
We will ask the question the Jan will ask.
Or maybe you can ask my name.
Right. Anyway, so mining is too broad.
Yeah, too broad.
Maybe you should be focused on what kind of type of mining.
Yeah.
More maybe you have the outcomes.
Yeah.
Coal mining.
The first time you have the noble metal mining, like the gold, coal, gold, and then copper or something that's about the metals. Because now in Indonesia, after some industry open mining, and there's maybe local people or maybe not the central governments maybe surprised about the things, but sometimes after the industry gets that they want to finish, they not recovering that soil well. That's problem, and let's just go. That's problem is solved by the government. Sometimes government have not enough budget or something, and that's just okay. That's okay. So just let it. Now that's a big problem because the soil become useless. We are just thinking how to control all that. Because we can deny if industry come to our area, and then they will propose something advantage, and we are surprised, but we never thinking more deeply about what effect after this process is end. After they got they want something, they move to another area. Oh, who will recover this area? So it's become a new problem.
So do you know the term of fair trade? Fair trade? Fair trade. Fair trade.
Fair
Coffee beans.
Yeah.
Fair trade. So for example, maybe you can insist on making an alliance. And the consumer should pay for it. The consumer can only buy, for example, the copper. I mean, those companies who can recover the land properly is another solution. Maybe consumer should decide for that. Please think of it. Thank you. Okay. そしたらnext please. Next group.
Decided to present about solid waste problem, and it's mainly in Indonesia. Although Philippines and Indonesia maybe have similar problems in solid waste, but we identified at least 3 major reasons. This is because Indonesia, as we all know, is a developing country, so its population is increasing. So if the population is increasing, it means there is also an increased use of the commodities like food and facilities to live and to survive. And because it is a developing country, so the economic status is also increasing. So because of this, with all the utilization of resources, then we believe that solid waste is one of the major problems in a developing country. Especially us, we have law, we have regulation, but the problem is the implementation. So that is what we will talk in our presentation.
Solid waste.
Solid waste.
Solid waste, for example, what is?
Solid waste is just like a trash from our household. Like if we dispose leftover, food leftover, how can we dispose it so that it will not cause problem to our environment? So if we use plastics, how can we dispose it so that it will not be toxic to humans, or it will not be become the cause of pollution in the land, usually in the land. So it's a more complicated issue because it will connect with the land use. Because if there is much solid waste, how can we dispose it? How can we store it? So we have to think of the use of land. So it's a conflict of increasing population because we will utilize land for settlement, but at the same time, we will use land for disposal of waste. So it's something like that.
Okay. Thank you. Please think of the questionnaire to this group presentation. answer question.
This is topic, but
Yeah.
about the solid waste, we are
Yeah,
thinking
just
about.
one.
Okay.
I thought you had finished.
Okay.
Anyway, so please, ask me the question. Yes.
So you are focused on the solid waste, right? And then it's about the conflict of the storage, solid waste storage, because it's also people, number of people increase. What about the old concept of 3R, reduce, reuse, and recycle? I think it's just it can be to reduce the conflict, because with the reduce the solid waste and then reuse and recycle, we can force the amount of solid waste. What do you think?
I think it's common. It's a common. I think it's the most simple strategy on how to reduce our solid waste. But we must remember that there are other ways that we cannot just reuse, reduce, and recycle. Like waste from hospitals, it should be disposed in a very secure area. So if you use, because in disposal we use land, so in disposing hospital waste, we use land, and for that waste not to seep or not to leak from that land, we have to make a very good infrastructure so that those waste will not harm it means other habitats like water habitats and other agricultural land. So I think the 3 R's, reuse, reduce, and recycle, is practicable for household waste. So it's still considered as one strategy for solid waste.
Hi.
Yeah, the first time when we get solid waste, the first thinking that come to our mind is we should imitate what Japan government do. But the problem is, I think, the funding for the developing country, for Indonesia, I think also for Philippines, and I think it's not easy, because I think in our country also busy with another thing, like how to manage poor people, how to manage natural disaster or something like that. In your group mind, what we should do for that, for the funding or something like that? Because I think we already know how to manage solid waste. It's just imitate something like the poor country who already good to manage their waste. But the problem is the funding. So what do you think about that?
Okay, I will answer this question. Firstly, we already know that the 3R is a technology and a concept. But if before we apply a concept, we also must prepare a good infrastructure. Something like this. If we know that composting is a good way, so in Indonesia the people push to do composting, but we didn't supply the market to the compost. So the compost just only in their house. So they didn't know how to sell this waste, this compost. So our government should also supply the good infrastructure, so that in our case we will talk about how to prepare infrastructure. So like this, maybe if we already reuse the bottle or reuse the solid waste, we can sell it, and we supply the market, and we provide the market for the people. So that's why they sell to the market, they get the money, and they can use money as an operational fund in the solid waste.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. So then next we move to the final stage. Sorry to quickly. And I will deliver the papers in each group. And please write maybe at the beginning, maybe you should write by handwriting with a pencil or something like that. And then finally, I will deliver the paper. We have only one spare. If one of the groups conduct a very fatal damage, only we also have one extra. And with this pen, this pen and please write the figure. And this is all the newspaper. When you write the pen, please under over put under size. Just in case. Okay. The most important thing is kind of your topics. What kind of topics? And the impacts. Topic, impact, and solution. And topic, and problems or impacts in another words, and solution. Something like that. So you can please refer to those participants from JICA and try to write draft writing, and then make use of this pen. You can write that. Maybe disk is this one. Maybe that is the disk. And the problem is that. Andこれ solution. Blue is solution. And これがimpact or another problems or something like that. So, and if somebody wants to use green pen, we only have only one green. But if you like, we can use this. So maybe please try to work on that in maybe 10 minutes. And finally, very short and start the final presentation 25 or something like that. And 5 minutes presentation. Maybe we should keep here not later than 5 o'clock at most. Okay, so please discuss.